Welcome back. This is part two. To this is a continuation from my previous upload. If you have not listened to it, I suggest that you do. So in part one, I stopped that everyone needs to survive. Continuing on. So when I saw that, I burst into tears. I'm going to read that last sentence again. It's the ghetto. Everyone is in survival mode and everyone needs to survive. So when I saw that, I burst into tears. There was one of his friends who got caught inside of the home. I chased him away with a kitchen knife. That day, I had a welcome to the hood nigga type of experience. Prior to, I was protected by him. I'm referring to my children's father of the 3-year abusive relationship. And due to him being my protection, I was no longer sheltered. I then decided to stay there with high hopes and expectations that he'd be released soon. I wasn't prepared to leave with my things only, and given that we both had plenty of things, I decided to stay and do whatever I have to do in order to survive. After organizing our home, that's when his friend appeared. He was heaven sent. I learned then that a divine sent him to be an earth angel for me. He arrived. He found me crying and sobbing. He shared with me a few broken up sentences of motivation. I understood energy, regardless of how he spoke. He promised me that he'd look out for me, and he did. He made sure that I ate every day. He paid the rent, well, half the rent. And he protected me from all danger and harm. He had a great sense of respect for me and my children's father. Not once he tried to hurt me nor sleep with me. He would come check on me throughout the night to make sure that no one was trying to break in and make sure that I was safe. During the day, I spent talking to people who were in some sort of in need of some sort of life advice, compassion, inspiration, and motivation. So he would search for me just to make sure that I'm safe. Sometimes he'd come and sit on the side quietly without saying a word. He was just such a pure soul. Given that all of this took place prior to my 23rd birthday, on my birthday, he took me shopping to purchase a very beautiful dress with accessories included and matching shoes. I had no one to hang with, so he gathered his friends and took me to a disco bar to celebrate my birthday with everything on him. I drank a glass of wine, I danced, and I laughed all night. I had the time of my life. During this period of my life, I was beginning to understand that the divine works through all types of people, no matter the race of the person. It is irrelevant when you've been chosen to be a blessing in the lives of others. I use the word blessing, not blessings, another story for another time. During this period, I've spent listening to the stories of all of those who lived in poverty. I began to better understand why I was placed in the same situation. I witnessed firsthand the lifestyle of living in poverty and in the ghetto. I've witnessed firsthand how society has turned a blind eye to the circumstances of people who are less fortunate because they are unfortunate. I've witnessed firsthand how society would disrespect someone who's simply just trying to have who is just trying to fucking eat his first meal in 3 days. I've witnessed firsthand how middle class and high class people would side eye humans just as you, but living in poverty, failing to realize money doesn't make a person. And that's where I come in at, as a living testament. Backtracking to my mentions previously, that was some of my memories of which were being triggered as I walked through the neighborhood on my way home. Once I returned home, I began to reflect more on the situation at hand. So that's when I received the intuitive epiphany to do something about it. This led me to travel the following week with the intentions to be a blessing in someone else's life. This experience first led me to meet a group of humanitarian women who were located in southern Tel Aviv upon my travels. Upon my arrival, my intentions were to purchase something for them to eat